A narcissist can be someone you never expect to betray you. They don't just cheat due to a lack of empathy, but because they feel they deserve the best of everything. You would never imagine that an excessive love for oneself could lead to such ruthless behavior. We always believe that love is the source of all happiness. But if that love doesn't come from a healthy place, it can become a trap. There's a harsh truth that few dare to face. Narcissists, with their firm belief that they deserve the best of everything, can easily fall into affairs without a shred of conscience. Why? Because they don't understand that love is not about self-gratification, but about sharing and sacrifice. A narcissist doesn't feel empathy for others. To them, everything is just a tool to maintain their perfect image. If the current relationship doesn't serve their needs, they won't hesitate to seek satisfaction from outside. Yet, the most painful part is that they may never admit their wrongdoings. They can blame others and continue to toy with the emotions of those around them without any remorse. We often think that narcissists simply love themselves too much, but in reality, it's far more complex than that. These individuals don't just love themselves. They see themselves as the center of the universe, and everything around them must serve their needs and desires. They have their own world where they're the only ones who matter. They don't just seek personal satisfaction, but also want to control everything, including their relationships. To them, love is not a bond between two people, but a tool to maintain their perfection and fill the void in their soul that is always craving recognition. This makes them incredibly attractive. They know how to capture attention and make others feel special. They use charm and grace to make everyone around them fall under their spell. They have the ability to make others believe that only they can bring happiness, but in reality, they are just exploiting others' empathy to continue maintaining their perfect image. This is why they can easily deceive and manipulate others without feeling guilty. However, behind this perfect facade is a person full of insecurity and fear. They're always afraid of being abandoned, that they won't be loved and accepted if they can't maintain the perfection they've built. This is why they turn to infidelity as a way to reaffirm their own attractiveness and worth. Each affair for them is not just a search for temporary pleasure or satisfaction, but a means to assert themselves. When they feel threatened by the stagnation of a long-term relationship, they will find ways to enter another relationship where they can continue proving that they are still important, still worthy of love. But do narcissists ever truly realize the consequences of their actions? No, they often don't realize that their behavior is hurting others, because in their world, only self-satisfaction matters. The emotions of others don't really exist in their mind. They are just a part of the big picture they paint for themselves. They don't care who they hurt, as long as they can maintain the image they've created. One of the reasons narcissists can maintain affairs without feeling guilty is that they never see it as a mistake. To them, it's just part of life. When caught, they won't admit their actions, but will instead find ways to blame others, the circumstances, or even their victims. They might convince themselves that they haven't done anything wrong, that they were just seeking the satisfaction they deserve. They will continue living in this self-satisfaction because they see no reason to change. However, the most painful thing for those around them is not being able to see any change. Narcissists may promise to change, but they never do. They may apologize, but their apologies are just a way to maintain temporary peace, to keep everyone in their life serving their needs. They don't truly regret what they've done. They just want to hold on to what they have: love, respect, and satisfaction. This creates a vicious cycle that those around them can't escape. They will continue to forgive, continue to love, continue to hope that the narcissist will change, but that change never comes. The feelings of disappointment, hurt, and suffering only grow over time, and eventually, they realize they've been used, that they were just a part of the power game the narcissist is playing. And when everything unravels, when the relationship begins to break down, the narcissist will move on to another relationship. They will seek someone new to fill the void in their heart, but they will never find true peace. They may have a life full of relationships, short-lived affairs, but in the end, they are still lonely, still unable to touch real love, because they never truly loved anyone but themselves. This is the tragedy of a narcissist. They seek love, but never realize that true love is not about possession or self-gratification, but about sharing and understanding. True love comes from sacrifice, from putting others above oneself, from opening up and accepting imperfection. A narcissist can never achieve this because they cannot see beyond themselves. And in the end, they will isolate themselves in a world full of temporary satisfactions, never finding the real fulfillment they crave. When we look at a narcissist, we don't just see their affairs or emotional inadequacies. We also see a person running away from themselves, refusing to face the deep fears within their soul. Narcissism is not a sign of strength or confidence, but a manifestation of weakness, insecurity, and a desire that can never be satisfied. And in the process, they not only hurt others, but also harm themselves, forever trapped in a cycle of deprivation and loneliness. They may never understand that. The story of a narcissist and infidelity is not just a lesson in emotional deprivation, but also a deep warning about the damage that excessive pride can cause. A narcissist, despite their seemingly perfect exterior and magnetic charm, is actually confronting their greatest fear, the fear of being abandoned and never truly loved. They seek satisfaction from affairs, not because they lack love, but because they are unable to feel or give true love. The lesson here is that understanding and empathy are the foundations of any solid relationship. Love cannot be built on possession or seeking validation from others. To achieve a lasting and happy relationship, each individual must learn to love themselves in a healthy way, while also being willing to share and sacrifice for others. Moreover, this story reminds us of the value of self-awareness. When we recognize and accept our weaknesses and fears, we gain the ability to build genuine and lasting relationships, rather than running away in temporary, shallow affairs. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you found the story and the insights shared in the video meaningful, don't hesitate to leave a comment below. We truly appreciate your feedback as it helps us improve and bring even more valuable content. If you found the video helpful and want to continue exploring deep topics like this, don't forget to click subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new video. Let's share meaningful stories together and continue the journey of understanding and healing. Once again, thank you for your amazing support. Stay with us on this journey